This was my first Valentine's Day single after being in a relationship for 3 years. I have a very complicated relationship with Valentine's Day. My first actual adult Valentine's Day, I was dumped. I have a story time on my YouTube channel about that. And ever since then, I have a very weird, warped relationship with it. I love all the cliche things that come with Valentine's Day. All the flowers, all the gifts, all the saxophone, all the food trees. Like, I actually love it. I love that shit. But whenever I am not in a relationship or I don't have a partner to share that day with, I start to feel very down. I start to feel hopeless. I start to feel like there is something wrong with me and I'm not good enough to be loved. Getting dumped on your first official Valentine's Day is not really... it's not good for the mental health. This year, however, as the big day approached, I didn't have the sense of those feelings I usually have. Those feelings of hopelessness, those feelings of not just being good enough. All those feelings were just not there. Still, I felt somehow. Not exactly sure how to label the somehow, but it felt like there was something missing. Like there was a hole in my heart. So I decided to fill that hole with romantic movies. For the week of Valentine's, I'm gonna be watching the saddest romantic movies. I did my Googles, I did my research, and I have a mix of films from over the years that are considered some of the saddest romantic movies. The goal here is to immerse myself in all the drama, all the love, all the emotions, and basically cry out any pent-up, repressed feelings that I have been just shoving down into my soul. I'm hoping at the end of this movie marathon, I come out on the other side feeling lighter, feeling much better about myself, and maybe even having a better understanding of love and relationships. Or I might just cry a lot. Who knows? Today is Monday and the movie for today is Love and Basketball. It came out in the year 2000 and it is regarded as a cult classic. In fact, last year it was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. Here's a quick one-liner summary of the movie. Monica and Quincy love and play basketball together through many life challenges from childhood to adulthood.
Nothing happened. Something that can make you do wrong, make you do right. Yeah.
Alright. You and Kelvin against me and Jamal. Oh man, he is a girl. Hey, girls can't play no ball. Ball better than you. What a dog. She heard you. Nuh-uh. She can only hear dog whistles. Check. Check.
Just cause, like, come on. Come on.
Well, this ain't nothing but her money.
Quincy, please.
Mama, how many times you yourself done told me to watch these hoes out there?
I should have been telling your father that.
You gonna take the word of some trick over pop? Huh?
You're not gonna just run around on me. If we're gonna be together, I have to be able to trust you.
I'm not asking for us to be together.
What?
What?
I'm going through a lot of shit right now. It's obviously more than you got time for.
How are you gonna tell me what I have time for?
He's being such a fucking little bitch.
I mean, whatever I did, we can fix this.
No, you did nothing. He's being a bitch.
I don't think so.
Smart, Quincy. I always knew that you could do anything you wanted to. You want to play ball, son? Then play ball. Just know that you're not like everybody else in that goddamn court. You ain't like I was. Got options.
I have just finished watching Love and Basketball, and oh my god, it gave me so many good feels. But also, it was like a very emotional movie that kind of touched on a lot of emotions that I wasn't expecting them to touch on. I didn't expect the movie to explore the interpersonal relationships between her and her mom, her and her dad, him and his dad, him and his mom. I didn't really expect them to go that far. I'm very happy that they did because it really made the movie more fleshed out, more believable. One thing this movie has going for it is the music. The music is so good. The selection of 80s music. The music director knew what the fuck he was doing. Like, the music he picked for each of the scenes matched so well. Her mom and the relationship that her and her mom had really reminded me of the relationship that my mom have, and it's not the best relationship, so I think I need to fix that. I need to figure that out. I could see so much of myself in the main female character and also the male character as well, which is what makes this movie so good, that both characters are both very well developed people. By the way, Omar Epps, so fine. Omar Epps is so fucking fine in this movie. Also, Tyra Banks is in this in very small parts, but she's in this, and I was very surprised to see her. Something that surprised me that this movie really touched on was feminism, double standards, women in marriage, women making choices in marriages. I love the fact that they explored the marriages that their parents had and how it affected both of them. I get it. I get why it's a cult classic. I get why people talk about this movie. I get why it's on the top list. Like, all right, today's Tuesday, and today's movie is I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, or in Japanese, Kimi no Suzo Tabetai, is a 2018 Japanese anime coming-of-age drama film directed by Shinichiro Ushijima and based on the light novel of the same name by Yoru Sumino. The movie revolves around a high school student who discovers one of his classmates is suffering from a terminal illness. The secret brings both of them together as she lives out her final moments.
お疲れ。明日から連休だね。関東直入に着くけど、空いてる？連休は電車で遠出しようと思います。どこか行きたいところある？
君が死ぬ前に行きたいところに行けばいい。
じゃあ明日の朝、駅に集合ね。予約に手違いがあったみたいで、あっちの責任だからって予約してたとこよりだいぶいい部屋にしてくれたの。一緒のベッドで寝るなんてドキドキするね。
バカじゃない。僕はこっちで寝るから。
せっかくいい部屋なんだからちゃんとベッドもいい加減にしてよ。女の子にこんなことしてもいいと思ってるの？話して。やめて。やめてってば。
やっぱり僕みたいな人間が人と関わるべきじゃなかったんだよ。一人でいれば誰も傷つけずに済んだんだ。
そんなことない。
僕なんかといるより彼や京子さんのように本気で君のことを思ってる人といるべきだ。嬉しかったんだ。君が僕を必要としてくれていたこと、僕の言葉が届いていたこと、僕らの方向性が違うと君はよく言っていた。当たり前だった。ずっとお互いを。
I finished watching I Want to Eat Your Pancreas and I have so many emotions. So many emotions. Right off the bat, it hits you with the feels. It doesn't pull punches. Like, in the beginning, it tells you, yo, this girl died. The movie starting off with letting you know that, yo, this is not a happy thing. This is sad. I feel like they just gave away the story. Like, okay, the girl is dead. It's now left for you to be like, okay, do I want to figure out how she died? Do I want to figure out what's going on? The process of getting to what happened was kind of tedious for me. The conversations that they were having, boy and girl, like, just, I don't know, it was just a lot. They were trying to show the development of this relationship in a very natural way, but at the same time, I was so bored at some parts of this. The first hour of this movie was really hard for me to get through. It was very hard. I even wrote here that, is this gonna be them hanging out until she dies? If that is it, it's gonna be boring. The main character, the main babe, she's very manic pixie girl coded. Manic pixie girl is basically this girl that is like going through so much, but she's so happy, she's so quirky, she's so alternative, and you know, she's mainly there to teach the male character about life, about love, about all these things. And I don't like that trope because why do you need an alternative, fun, spunky girl to teach you the meaning of life? Watching that dynamic play out was not the best for me. It was not. The way she dies really comes out of left field and everything, and you think she's gonna die one way and it just goes a whole nother way, and that is what shocked me. Like, when I thought she had died, I was like, oh, okay, she has died. Like, yeah, she has died. But the way it happened and everything, I was just like, it did make me cry. I did cry. It is a very emotional film. It's kind of film that makes you realize that you need to really enjoy the little things about life and really enjoy the things that really give you joy in life. As much as I didn't like the manic pixie girl trope, I enjoyed the movie. Happy Valentine's Day! It is Wednesday and today's movie is Blue Valentine. Blue Valentine is a 2010 American drama film written and directed by Derek Cian France. The film has received critical acclaim, with both leads being nominated for numerous awards for their roles. The story is about the relationship of a contemporary married couple charting their evolution over the years by cross-cutting between periods. About 5 minutes into starting the movie, I started having issues with streaming. It kept stopping, the internet kept dropping. I started looking for alternative servers, alternative files, but it was giving me so much stress that I just decided that it wasn't worth it, and I was going to finish watching the movie the next day. I have finished watching Blue Valentine and I have thoughts. Not so many, but I have thoughts. I went into this movie thinking it was going to be about how these two flawed people came together and how they fall apart. But instead, Blue Valentine is about how a lonely woman falls for the wrong person and ends up just not living the best life and ends up hating her husband. At the end of this film, I was just like, yeah, you guys should not be together. This man does not treat you well. This man is like a child. There is a scene in the beginning where she goes, I thought getting away from the house, going away, was to get away from the kids. Like, he is a big baby. They are not good together. So surprised that she ended up with him. She is definitely out of his league. There's even a scene where he says it to her towards the end that he knows he's out of her league. I'm so surprised her family didn't stop it. I'm very surprised her family didn't say anything. Like, yo, this is not the right man for you. There was a scene where he asked for another baby and I saw the fear in her eyes. Michelle Williams' acting was so subtle but so good. Like, the fear in her eyes, it was just a shift. She did not say a single word. It was just a look like, no. And like, at that point, it's very, very obvious that she doesn't love him anymore. At this point, I was like, oh man, she doesn't like this guy anymore. Like, she should just, let's just get a divorce and let it go. Yeah, I'm kind of happy that at the end, I mean, it's implied at the end that, you know, they get divorced. I'm happy. I'm happy. Let's pretend like you guys have not seen me today, and this is a fresh and new movie day. Today's movie is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It came out in 2004, and it is a science fiction romantic drama film directed by Michael Gondry. It opened to universal acclaim from critics and audiences who praised the style, editing, writing, score, themes, direction, and performance of the cast. The movie is now a cult classic and is considered by many critics as one of the best films of the 2000s and one of the greatest films of all time. The story is about a couple who undergo a medical procedure to have each other erased from their memory. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is by far my favorite movie throughout this entire movie binge I've been doing. I really love the style. I love the way it was edited. I love the visuals. Like I get why it won awards and it was lauded by critics, especially in the visuals department. I love it. The story department got me as well. The story of you finding out that your ex erased you from your memory, especially when you wanted them back. It's just like, I too would go get my memory wiped. In fact, I have thought that maybe getting my memory wiped would be a great way to get over past exes and even this past relationship. This movie, out of all the movies I have watched, is the first one to make me really think about my ex and think about our relationship and think about everything. The editing of the memory scenes was so good. I really loved it. It wasn't a toxic relationship, but it was definitely a relationship that had issues. It was a relationship that they definitely needed to iron some things out. They both had a resentment towards each other that they had not addressed, and it was obviously fucking with their relationship. Jim Carrey can fucking act, my fucking god. This film showed that he could be dramatic, he could be emotional. Jim Carrey really acted his pants off in this movie, like fantastic. What I liked about this movie is that both plots, the main plot and the B plot, were super good. The B plot being that the secretary had an affair and had erased her mind. I mean, whoa, that I didn't expect that. Visually, it basically told you how to get through a breakup, which is like you have to go through the emotions, go through the feelings for you to come out on the other side, which is kind of what happened. Like the memory wipe, while Joe was in his head, you know, they were wiping the memories, was him basically going through all the memories. And I saw that as a metaphor for feeling your emotions, going through the emotions, so that, you know, you acknowledge them and then you come out on the other side much better. As a concept, this is sad. I have to say, there's something so sad about wanting to wipe your memory of somebody that you loved and you truly cherished. There's one quote, and this is really a simple quote, but it goes, "Everything is going, so enjoy it." It's Saturday and I am at my ex's house. I know it's a little weird, especially with the subject of today's video, but I haven't had stable electricity in my area for close to a month now. It makes no absolute fucking sense. He lives on the mainland, and for some reason the mainland just has better power supply. If you know the reason, please leave a comment below, because I'm actually interested in knowing why Lagos mainland has better electricity than Lagos island. I wasn't able to watch yesterday's film because I got here pretty late and I was so tired, so I just went to bed. So we're going to be doing a movie marathon this afternoon, watching the last two movies of this romance movie binge. The first movie that we're going to be watching today is Carol. Carol is a 2015 romantic historical drama film directed by Todd Haynes with screenplay by Phyllis Nege. The film received widespread acclaim for its direction and the performances of its main cast, and it was the best reviewed film of 2015. Set in New York City during the early 1950s, Carol tells the story of a forbidden affair between an aspiring female photographer and an older woman going through a difficult divorce.
across the interstate, next 2 hours off the drive.
2 hours?
I have Field and Stream, National Geographic.
Popular photography?
Nope, of course not. Never do.
Thank you.
I have finished watching Carol and I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it would be a bit sadder. I thought like at the end of it I would be crying. In the end, the story ended up being like a really hopeful story, and yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. Don't know if I was rooting for them or not. The relationship seems very superficial, seems very quick, but that I mean is the standard of lesbian relationships, like moving forward really quickly, moving in a week or two. So like I get that, but in my head I was like, damn, you guys are moving fast. The part that I did find sad was the fact that, you know, these ladies were not allowed to express themselves sexually back then, because the movie is set in 1950s, I think. And it's just sad, like watching this film, like watching these women like fall in love but have to hide it, and then the older babe going through like a really messy divorce with her husband, who, by the way, fuck you, nigga. I loved the writing, I loved the quotes. The sex scene was very soft, very, very tender. So many great quotes. I wrote here, I used to spend New Year's alone in crowds. I'm not alone with you, and it just touched my soul. I was a little bit worried about the age gap because I wasn't actually sure what the age gap was. I'm actually trying to Google what is the age gap in Carol. Carol is only 10 years Terry senior, so he's only 10 years older than her. That's not too bad. I really enjoyed this movie, and I can see why people gave it a lot of great reviews and gave it a lot of like awards. I think it won like a bunch of awards. It's really well shot, no scene is wasted, and everything just concludes really nicely. All right, next up we're going to be watching the last movie for this movie marathon, and that movie is Amour. Amour is a 2012 French language romantic drama film written and directed by the Austrian filmmaker Michael Haneke. In 2016, the film was named the 42nd best film of the 21st century. The narrative focuses on an elderly couple, Anne and George, who who are retired music teachers with a daughter who lives abroad and has a stroke that paralyzes the right side of her body.
Je m'encadrerais bien. Mais c'est quoi mon image? Tu es un monstre parfois. Mais tu es gentil. Rien probablement. Tu as parlé avec Jeanne depuis que je suis partie à l'hôpital. Elle sait que je ne peux pas venir. Bien sûr. Qu'est-ce qu'elle a dit? Elle était...
I have finished watching the final movie in my saddest romance movies for Valentine's Day, and Amour broke my heart. It was so sad. I'm surprised I didn't cry. It was such a beautiful display of love and devotion, and even in how like the purest forms of love, there is still it still wanes and it still goes through a lot. There was something that the husband said, which is that me and your mother have gone through so much together, but we've never gone through this. And it's just like, you guys have been married for so long, and such a big illness and a big thing just kind of like calambulates and just like, distorts everything. And I just thought that that was a really beautiful thing. They're so cute together. I loved their conversations. I loved how natural the conversations between them flowed. Like, I could actually believe that this was like a married couple of like over 50 years. It was really refreshing seeing an older couple, because many of the times that you watch like rom-coms or watch romantic movies, it's always like somebody in their either early 20s or like early 30s. It was really great seeing an older couple and seeing how like older love looks like. Now, the end of the film surprised me. I did not expect it to go that way. I don't agree with what he did per se. If she wanted it and she did want it, then I'm okay with the decision. I'm okay with the fact that, he did that. When it happened, I was like, whoa, but I was not too surprised, if that makes sense. Because at this point, I was like, man, this is so hard on him, because he's old too, and taking care of somebody you love when they're in that kind of state, especially like when you've seen them better, is just like, it's very heartbreaking. And like the scenes of where he's taking care of her and she's speaking gibberish and she's refusing to eat, like, it broke my heart. Because imagine like being with someone for so long and you see them have a stroke and you see them become like a different version of themselves, and you still want to love them and you still want to take care of them, but it's like, it's so very hard. And whew, yeah, Amour was very, very sad. It was very, very emotional, and I really, really enjoyed it. So what did all these movies teach me? It taught me that love is a wonderful, beautiful thing, but love is never enough. It taught me that you need more than love to keep a healthy and happy relationship. It also taught me that even when you are in love and you think everything is amazing and perfect, that there is still life challenges that both of you will have to go through as a couple that will test you and test the love that you guys have for each other. I'm really happy I did this marathon because it made me think a lot about my life, made me think about my previous relationships, and made me even think about my current ex as well. I could see myself in all of the couples, and each movie taught me a different thing that I'm going to be taking with me as I go through life. Here are my rankings of the movies. My favorite one was Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I love the editing, I love the visuals, I love the acting. Jim Carrey can act, my god. And I just love the message the film gives, the message of hope, the message of You think you can erase this person, but you actually cannot. This person will always be with you. I give that movie a 9 out of 10. Then followed by Love and Basketball. I absolutely loved the music. I loved the vibe. I just loved the entire thing. I just loved the entire thing, and it was actually my favorite movie before I watched Eternal Sunshine, and I give Love and Basketball an 8 over 10. Then the rest of the films, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, Amour, Blue Valentine, and Carol, they all get a 7 over 10. Not that they weren't amazing, they were great in their own ways, but Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and Love and Basketball were my favorites. They just blew me out of the water, and they just made me feel the feels that I needed to feel. All the films all made me feel things, but Eternal Sunshine and Love and Basketball gave me a feeling of hope, gave me a feeling of happiness, gave me a feeling of things will work out. Things can always work out. Not a single bad movie here. Thank you all so much for watching this movie. I really appreciate it. Please do not forget to stream the subscribe button so you can follow my family here on YouTube. Also, do not forget to watch the notification bell so that you'll always get notification whenever I upload a new video. And finally, do not forget to love the like button so you can tell YouTube this video is awesome, and to recommend this video to other people as well. Don't forget to be awesome, and I love you all. Bye!